ऐगिरि नन्दिनि नन्दित मेदिनि विश्वविनोदी नन्दनुते गिरिवर विन्ध्य शिरोधिनिवासिनि विष्णुविलासिनि जिष्णुनुते
On this first day of Navratri. Greetings to everyone. Civil engineering is very closely connected to mountains and, in fact, the mother nature in itself. Concrete, which is the most used engineered material in world, is made from materials that we get from the mountains in itself. So the limestone, sandstone are used for manufacturing cement. Other rocks from mountains are used as aggregates. Sand is used from the rivers and creeks as sand to the concrete, and obviously water. So all the elements, aspects of the mountains and Mother Nature, Mother Earth, are used in the construction industry. So we are very closely connected to, let's say, to Devi Shailaputri. The geological engineering forms a very important aspect in civil engineering. Geological engineering is connected to geotechnical engineering. When we want to build any structure, be it a small house or a massive building of 100 stories or a bridge across a river, we would first need to understand what is the condition and the quality of the rock on which we are going to build a structure. So, in that connection, again, civil engineering has to first understand whatever it is going to build, what is the ground on which it is going to stand from an engineering perspective. So there's a very intimate and a close connection with Mother Earth, with the soils, with the rocks, with the geology for any part of the world to start off in civil engineering. Civil engineers shape our communities. They design and build the infrastructure. They operate and maintain it for the whole good of the society. Essentially, they provide a vital link to all aspects of everyday living. You know, the minute you get up in the morning, the home that you're living in is thanks to a civil engineer. When you switch on the light, the electricity generation aspect, the distribution of the same, all of this is dependent upon the civil engineer. The civil engineer contributes to it. When you go to the bathroom and turn on the tap, courtesy a civil engineer, you're having water running through that tap. So they are responsible for clean water as well as distribution of the clean water. They're responsible for movement of people by building roads, railways, airports. So this connect that we have with our communities, that we are able to visit people, that we're able to interact with them and create a more living society comes as a direct contribution from civil engineers. There is a story that about of a village which was visited by a leader, and this village was doing a lot of exports from there. And when the leader asked them what is it that they wanted for their village, all they asked was for a proper road. And the reason was that essentially because everything else they could get once they had a road. The road would connect them to the city. The city would bring them livelihoods. The livelihoods would help them in being able to bring a better living lifestyle for them. So, civil engineering contributes to the very basic, essential aspects of building communities, of building our life in itself. My childhood was a lot of fun, a lot of engineering, thanks to my father. who did his PhD from IIT Mumbai and who himself was a civil engineer. And I think that contributed to my ambition in some sense, let's say, to become an engineer and maybe even a civil engineer in itself. One of my earliest memories was to visit a dam site with him. And I still remember, that was the first time in my life I saw a buoy, which is, something, a buoyant this that is placed in water to mark as a, where there are something which is uh, the harmful or something that is not a safe point kind of designation. And he is sort of standing there when I asked him what it was, and he sort of explained to me all of the aspects of why the buoy was placed, what was the dam doing, and all of that. That sort of was an inspiration to get into engineering, if not necessarily civil engineering in itself. But yeah, that was my starting point of understanding what engineering was. And once I finished my 12th, somehow by then civil engineering was became a natural path for me. There was not, I didn't give much thought to anything else other than civil engineering. And I continued to be in it, despite, in the early 2000s, when after I finished my masters, most people of my generation of that time, let's say, would always go into software or information technology and computers. But I chose to continue to be in this line. Uh, you know, being a civil engineer, the biggest thrill for me, it comes from visiting projects which are being used for the intended purpose, for which I have been involved in, and standing there admiring the completion of the project, watching it benefit mankind, it brings an immense satisfaction, and it's yet a very humbling experience. And I think this is the greatest aspect of being a civil engineer. I would encourage everyone, all the youngsters, women specifically, uh, to get into civil engineering, to get understand this feeling, and get a satisfaction of the job that they do. Civil engineering is not just about designing. It's not just about visiting, being on a site. It involves many aspects. In fact, primarily it involves, other than your engineering knowledge, it involves communication and ability to resolve problems. There is a general belief um, that women can't take criticism, and I think we have to ensure that that kind of belief does not sustain, because that's not true. I do not know from where such kinds of negative uh, beliefs are floating around, but I've seen that happen many a time. I think a strong woman is somebody who understands um, the pros and cons of every action, who makes a informed decision and makes a decision that will ensure benefit for everyone. And she's able to take that decision. That's an important aspect of things. Also, it's somebody who is able to face challenges and criticisms.
ऐगिरिनन्दिनि नन्दितमेदिनि विश्वविनोदिनि